won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar. We rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stanford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real of does, and then with a love this storm, every phone's estimate, there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar. We rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stanford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real of does, and then with a love this storm, every phone's estimate, there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar. We rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stanford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real of does, Every force is to ver. Apenas estás. You, my heart. Keep the blue flame inside your soul. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines. Bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stanford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines. Bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real of dust, and then with a love this storm, every force is to ver. Apenas estás. You, my heart. Keep the blue flame inside your soul. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines. Bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stanford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines. Bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real of dust, and then with a love this storm, every force is to ver. Apenas estás. You, my heart. Keep the blue flame inside your soul. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines. Bright lights up the sky. Unity, our hopes on the rise.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome to another edition of the Chelsea News Roundup Show and the Chelsea Match Review Show, post game show. Yes, it ended. Wolves, yeah, Wolves won Chelsea 3, and it was a brilliant performance. Could have been we could have scored a lot more, but the signs are good. Cole Palmer showing, yeah, that he's still Cole Palmer, and a lot of all the players on the pitch and the day did very well. But yeah, we will get into it today. But first of all, because yeah, it's going to be a mashup of Chelsea News Roundup Show and then the post game show where we listen to you tell us what impressed you the most, what the positive and the negative, the all man of the match and all of that. But first, we will go news hunting, and hopefully, we will get one or two more panelists join me so you can get the diversified opinion and not listen just to me alone waffle on the panel here. But thank you, and as usual, I have my bro in the chat, in my MD, Mabas05, aka MB05, joining. And this is a big up Coachila. I am happy with a 3-1 win. Cold Palmer, the magician, scored a hat trick. Cold as ice. Yep. As always, he looked much better today. And as I did say on the panel the other day, he's looking fitter and fitter. And I think the more he plays, the more we get to see the best of him. Happy he played. I think okay, he was taken off. Yeah. Let's hope Chelsea can smash Leeds United on Thursday. I think we're different Chelsea, and I think we have a manager. I don't know his record against Chelsea against Leeds United in the Championship. I think it be. I think it will make sense to look at it and see what we can learn from that. But Liam Rosenior is an excellent tactician, in my opinion, and from what we've seen so far. And up close, I'm starting to learn a lot more about him, realizing that he can actually be more pragmatic than I believe he'd be. But it was an excellent performance overall, and we will talk about that. But before we start discussing the game proper, we will go news hunting, and then we will talk about the game and then it go not news. So we have one particular item lined up to talk about where we'll address that, talk about the game, and then go news hunt, and then after that, call it a day. Yeah, up the charts indeed. I appreciate you. Keep the blue flag flying high. And I have yeah, Modmana doing his own thing there in the chat. Let's see. If Arsenal is on okay, is on six and a half year project, at least win us something. Don't say the project is successful and not win anything. Yeah, in our case, we actually ours is more successful than theirs. We have two non-domestic trophies to show for. One European trophy and a global trophy. Perspective, a funny story. And Drew, nice to see you. I fell asleep to your live stream because it was late in the UK. But then I woke up. Your outro music, I was still playing. Really? I hope you're doing well. Were you at the game today? Give me 1 second here. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? We took the break off off our feet, yeah, off the pedal on the gas, like Americans were saying, the second half to preserve our energy versus Leeds United. But I think it'd be accurate to say it was a controlled performance, and I think you can say, the way we played meant they weren't too sure how to counter that. Because even though they were in a poor form, on 2 occasions or how many occasions we played them under our previous manager, there was some, you can say, we struggled in some aspects of the game, leading to them getting I don't know how many goals they scored against us, but I don't want to talk about that. I hate a revisionism. But let's move on from that. Chelsea fans would be angry if Chelsea didn't win trophies 6 years into the project. Abramovich would have sacked Arteta if he didn't win anything 5-6 into the project. And they're actually lucky. Arsenal, I must say that they've been lucky that a lot of teams are struggling this season, which has led to them, you can say, topping the table the way they are right now. And they could still actually bottle it. It's just 6 points. If Man City win tomorrow, then yeah, it's not going to be easy for Arsenal to win it. They could end up losing it. All right, let's see. Big up to you too, Drew. Nice to see you once again. Coachila, Drew had a beauty sleep while his sleep is good. Sleep is good. The overlapping today was fantastic. And you can say the decisive runs in behind the opposition defensive line. One of which I would have loved Malo Gusto to lay it on the carpet for his teammates, where he tried to score from a difficult angle, and his teammates weren't happy with him. But that's by the way, we won. More importantly, Cole Palmer got a hat trick. You can say, looked more happy on the pitch and even after the game when he crashed the manager's Liam Rosenier's post-game interview. Let's see the fullbacks today. Yeah, they were much better under Rosinia. I hate to do that comparison thing. I don't think it's okay. Let's just move on. I still love Enzo Maresca, and we'll start following whatever team he joins as their manager. And I'm serious about that. Give me 1 second here. Let me take care of something. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. At the moment, we have just 13 people following the show. If you haven't, please take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. 1 second here. Let me take care of something quickly. 1 second, people. 1 second. I'll be right back with you guys. All right. I need to take care of this. Okay. What do we have here? Okay, I've addressed that one. So let's go. News hunting. And I'm going to go to the presentation window. I thought I was there, but yeah, not. Let's see. There you go. This guy here. I need to do it picture in picture. I apologize. That's not what I want to do. Give me a second. Yep, like this. I hope you can see my screen. This here, Fabrizio Romano reporting that Chelsea are still attentive, which means we're keeping an eye on Morgan Rogers' situation at Aston Villa. That's just you can say me maybe using a more relatable language. Or maybe a much simpler language there. Chelsea are still attentive to Morgan Rogers' situation and are a big fan of the player. One to watch again in the summer in case of a huge proposal. There could be a possibility for Rogers to try a new chapter. And here's why I'm concerned. Even if we succeed, even if we're interested, if other clubs are interested and are willing, you can say, to offer him a much bigger salary, I think we will. It's not going to be easy for us to get the deal across the line. It will be very, very difficult. But if you're in the chat, I want to know your opinion. Morgan Rogers, is he a player you would want to see at Chelsea, or would you rather Chelsea move for a different player? I'd like to hear your opinion in the chat. If you say a different player, I'd like to hear what player in particular. And CISO from our sister channel. I don't know, something I can't quite remember. Is he on loan there? Because at the time there were conflicting reports. Some reports phrased the story as us pushing to sign and CISO with the plan of sending him on loan to Strasbourg, and then he joined us the season after. Some other time was saying was signing him for Strasbourg, nothing to do with Chelsea Football Club. But I don't know really. But I wouldn't mind Morgan Rogers. I think it's, again, given the fact that his Premier League experience, and he's gotten actually much better than he was last season. He's getting better and better. He's improving by each game, in my opinion. I wouldn't mind him, and I think he'd be, you can say, because he already did play alongside Cole Palmer at Manchester City Academy, which means if he joins us, I think probably will make Cole Palmer happier, and also you can say he won't which means it wouldn't take much time for him to adapt. But overall, he's a good player. He can get you goals. He can also create. For me, if I'm being honest, I'd like a much more creative 10 than him. If we're signing him as a 10, that it's a matter of personal preference, really. I think that we may chances I would see much better creative tens are out there, but we don't know. I'd still take him, honestly. If we're able to get the deal across the line, I'd be happy. He will make us much better, and he has that mentality that one would like to see in a Chelsea player. I think it's like the Kenda deal. I didn't know. I thought he was a permanent signing for Strasbourg and not for Chelsea. That was what I thought was the case because the reports were everywhere, weren't aligned at all. I will check it out after the show to see if in fact, yeah, it was just he's just there on loan, just like the case of Kenda. Coach, do you know Nico Paz? I need to learn more about him. How well do you know him? Would you rather we sign him over? I don't know. Can you elaborate? Why are you asking? Nico Paz is a baller. Okay. Would you rather him than Morgan Rogers? One second. Let me take care of something quickly. Sorry, guys, I'm alone with the kiddos. Yeah, at the same time, I'm paying attention to them. My wife is at home. Hi to you, to Eugene, my bro. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. I do hope you're doing well. We're still stuck in 6 likes. I think we should be doing a lot better than that. If you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Nico Paz, why would you rather him over? I'm not sure. Why are you asking me if I know him? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I see someone that I just don't want to say hello to him, but I just have to. The Blue Tiffle game. Big up, my bro. Always nice to have you here. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the conversation. He says, Coach, you really needed to give your kids their own show. They are stars in the making. Heston, they all love Chelsea. Their uncle nearly got one of them to start supporting Liverpool, but I made sure that didn't happen. All right, sorry about that, guys. It's going to be a difficult one today. A big up to you too, Drew. I appreciate you. Project Mbappe and Lauren James. Can you elaborate on that? I'm not sure what you're trying to do there. But more importantly, my bro, the Blue Tiffle game. I hope everything is okay on your end. I do believe your absence is because, yeah, you've been busy. And if that's the case, I'm happy for you because bills don't pay themselves. So yeah, let's see if we'll be able to get the deal across the line. And my bro, Maya the rapper, always nice to see you, and I appreciate you sharing the reposting the stream. I cannot thank you enough for all the love you've been showing your bro. I appreciate that. The Bible says, "Try not to chide." You've done that, Coach. God bless those little blues. I appreciate you. The prayers for them. Thank you. You never know, mine one might actually need it. Yeah. So here's my take on this particular. I wouldn't call it a report. A screenshot of. Give me 1 second here before I make a silly mistake here. Um, Bruno Fernandez of Manchester United, liking Cole Palmer's post after our win against Wolverhampton Wanderers. He commented on the Cole Palmer's yeah Instagram comment post with reads just he reads just enjoy, and he responded, "What a player." How do I read this? I read this as Manchester United and their camp trying to turn Cole Palmer's head, uh, because I'm quite sure Bruno Fernandez wouldn't want Chelsea to win their remaining games, or even they wouldn't. I don't think he would have loved us to beat um, Wolves, because that means, yeah, we're still neck and neck with them. If they drop points and we win, we will leapfrog them in the table. So for me, I think what they're doing here, there seems to be a coordinated campaign to try to get Cole Palmer to sign up for Manchester United. That is just my opinion anyway, but it does make sense to me, because we're seeing Manchester United aligned pundits and the former footballers all talking about, yeah, that United can actually sign Cole Palmer, elaborating on on reasons why they believe that he's not happy, no longer that he's no longer happy at Chelsea and is looking to leave the club and will be open to join Manchester United, which I think all are horse dung. So for him, Bruno Fernandez, to do this, for me, I'd say this is no coincidence. That's a coordinated effort to try to get Cole Palmer to join Manchester United. Do I think it's possible? I mean, I wouldn't say it's not possible, but it will take some out of this world record breaking transfer fee for Chelsea to say okay. And plus, I think probably Cole Palmer would also want to join that club in particular, and push to leave Chelsea before our current owners will agree to sell him. So for me, Bruno Fernandez, this comment is no coincidence, because let me just repeat that once again. I don't think he'd like us. He would want us to win our remaining games. I don't think he would have loved us to beat Wolverhampton Wanderers, because that means we're still right behind them. And if they jump points and we win, that's it. So that's my opinion. But if you're in the chat, let's hear you. What do you make of it? When you have young children and you try to make them footballers, you say Project Mbappe or Lauren James are dependent on the gender. Okay, Drew, thank you for educating me, and I really love that. That's cool. Maya, big up to you too, my bro. All is well. I cannot complain, and thank you for finding the time to stop by and say hello. And I'm quite sure you've also dropped a like on the video. And anytime you release another demo, please do let me know. I'd like to listen to it. The media is trying to force this narrative desperately. They know exactly what they're doing, which is why I've said that I don't think Bruno Fernandez commenting on Cole Palmer's Instagram post is a coincidence. No, it is a coordinated effort to try to get him to sign for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandez can sit down with his agent tactics, Jerry. Stick to assisting his own mates. I think I agree. He should. He should stay away. It was a rumor started from a Twitter account. Possibly that might have been, or maybe it's a deliberate, well calculated campaign to get Cole Palmer to sign for Manchester United. They should go for Rogers, or we will have both. I think they've spent too much, actually. I think before they'd be able to afford a player that would cost them something in the region, something north of 60, 70 million pounds. I think probably next summer. No, I'm not sure it's going to be the coming summer. They've spent quite a lot. 4 wins, 4 Premier League. How many Premier League wins in a row? Is it 5 or 4? But Drew says 4 wins in a row, and United act like they have won. Okay, for United, that was specific to Manchester United. Let me read that again. 4 wins in a row, and United act like they have won the league. Such gullible fans. Here's something I want to say quickly. I watched their game against Tottenham. You can argue the reason why they were able to sustain the sort of, you can say, performance they showed today from the start to the finish was because Romero got red carded. But I saw something today, and I was saying to myself, was the Tottenham manager? He's not a good tactician. The way United are set up currently, that they're set up in a manner that, my goodness, had that been against us or against a team coached by Enzo Maresca, they will mop we will, or that team, or the team coached by Enzo Maresca will mop the stadium carpet with them, because there were lots of spaces that, if the only thing that Tottenham didn't do was their, you said, their defensive players underlapping, because there were spaces there, and had they done that, the defensive, you can say, the defenders with the ball could have easily found them, and that would lead to them displacing 2, 3 opposition players. But they weren't doing that. They were just going sideways and going on the flanks. And I was like, my goodness, Thomas Frank isn't a good manager, because that was too easy. The way United are currently set up, if you watch them on the what's his name, their current manager, former player, you know that, easy actually to break, very, very easy to break them down. But let's see. What else do we have here? We've addressed that one. Out, Chimera, stop talking to me, man. You don't know how to fight. You and I are fighting, and you shouldn't be making attempts to talk to me. I see a lot of people call for Njaye signing, but I don't like it. What do you think? Njaye, I mean, Chelsea is not Everton. That's Njaye, the Everton player, right? Chelsea is an Everton. As much as I think he's a good player, I think we don't need him, really. But that's just my opinion anyway. If the manager says he needs him, I think we'd eventually push to sign him and maybe get the ball across the line. I think Cole Palmer's celebrating by closing his ears says it all. I think my interpretation of that celebration is that, I'm not listening. I'm not interested in what you have to offer. I'm happy where I am. And I think he did that celebration after that first goal. His celebration after the first goal he scored on the day had three versions. One, his trademark a cold celebration, followed by him closing his ears, and then urging the fans to be louder. For me, my interpretation of that is that he's staying. He's not going anywhere. And he did say something post game that truly reflects the fact that, all the things we've been hearing in the media all have been absolute house dunk. But nice to see you, my bro. I think Cole Palmer is celebrating by closing his ears. It says, I agree with you. But nice to see you, my bro, once again. Man just skipped over it. What did I skip? Did I skip your comment? Why wouldn't I skip it? Go away. Okay, what's that bottle looking thin on your table? Which of the bottles here? I have a cologne here. I don't want to show you the cologne because, I'm not here to advertise for them. This is a light. This is not a cologne. And it's not coming on. The battery is low. I'm not showing you the next bottle I have here because I don't want to advertise for them. So leave me alone. 4 wins in a row. And I think we've addressed that one. Chimera out 2. And Eugene says, I see a lot of people. I think we've addressed a lot of these comments here. Rio Maresca says that Project Palma and Estavo, they know what they are doing. I agree with you. Surely Estavo started versus Leeds United as he's got no minutes today. I don't think he was fully fit actually, but I think most definitely he will start against Leeds United. The first goal Tottenham conceded was a schoolboy stuff, but I'm just saying overall, the way they're set up and the way they applied themselves on the day, there were lots of spaces that, if Thomas Frank paid attention, it would have been a lot easier to break them down. But you could argue the fact that Romero considered a red card changed everything. But before then, they were easy to break down. It's a manager bounce of a United as for us, but I'm glad the Rosinia is a decent coach too. And in this case, I wouldn't say it's a new manager bounce, but that's just my opinion anyway. I still think some people still see it as the case, but I beg to differ in that regard. I'm glad to see Thomas Frank's engine failing. He used to chat stupidness about Chelsea when he was at Brentford. I'm glad we didn't hire him. I'm just glad. One goal from open play and 2 pens, not good enough. Cancel it. Cancel the win. Give Brentford the 3 points. If that's gonna make you happy, will that make you happy? Cancel it. Chimera. All right. Nida, Rogers, and Jaye, please sign and make sure give them a veteran contract. We sell loan our current left wingers. I think we're not going to sell all of them. I think one of them definitely, in my opinion, will push to leave, and I think eventually will be Garnacho because I don't think he will survive the abuse from Chelsea fans. But I'm appealing to all Chelsea fans, even if you don't like him, even if you think that signing Garnacho was a mistake, I appeal to you guys to at least support him. It's not going to help anybody to abuse him. And you know he has a younger brother who is almost always online and will tell him things he's seeing, and that will eventually affect him mentally because he's still a kid. So I think would be better of supporting him. He's one of us. He's our player now. Even if you don't like him, irrespective of what you say, there's no way to move him on now. But in my opinion, I still think he's a good player, and I'll give him to the end of the season for reasons I've explained. He hasn't had full preseason with us. We've also changed managers. Those things are factors that can affect a player adapting quickly. You can say, or settling down at a club. But that's my opinion anyway. Let's see. What else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes that do go along with 12 likes. We can do a lot better than that. If you haven't, please take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We have a total of 63 people following the show, but only 28 on YouTube. The rest shared between X and Facebook. Whether equally, I honestly do not know. Morgan Rogers. For those of you who haven't, you could say, weren't here when I asked the question, would you like to see Morgan Rogers at Chelsea, or would you rather we sign some other player? Was Sa on the bench today? He was. I've had enough of Chalobah. Chalobah was actually excellent today. Even if he made mistakes, I think he still is one of our best defenders until, actually, arguably our best, most reliable defender, in my opinion, until someone, you could say, maybe Sa proves to be a much better defender than him. This is Coachila backtracking. You told us he was good. Listen, I'm still saying it. Garnacho isn't a bad player. I'm just telling you guys, at least, even if you feel like he's a bad player, can you put that aside, support him, because he will not do us any good if we keep slating him, saying no. You can say some actually abusing him, and I'm going to say something I've said already. We know he has a younger brother who you could argue lives on social media and will relay whatever he sees there to him. And he'd end up, you can say that can actually affect him mentally, leading to him not performing. And he's just 21. You cannot convince me that he's a bad player. He's not. Has he performed consistently? No, he hasn't. And for me, I'd argue there are solid reasons why that's the case. But let's talk about Morgan Rogers now. Let's hear you. Why would you want him at Chelsea? I'd like you to elaborate. Don't just say yes. A penalty is part of the game. Exactly. Marlon Senyus. Nice to hear that from you. If you get a pen, you have to score. And exactly. And on those two occasions, especially the second one, what's his name? João Pedro, he beat him. He beat the defender, and the defender pushed him because he had no option other way. He had no other way to stop him than to push him down. So yeah, it's partly we played well. We forced them to commit errors that led to us being awarded the penalty. So I agree with you. I think that's actually delicious, the first delicious comment of the day, and I think it's only important we celebrate it. I think I'm going to use, what do I use here? Let's use confetti to celebrate it. Yeah, I appreciate that, Marlon. That's a good one. Yes, Rogers to Chelsea. He can play on the wing and also can fulfill the 10 role. For those of you in the chat, would you say Roger is more of a 10 than he is a winger? Because the reason I've said, and I've been saying this even before, when we started hearing that we need to sign a more traditional 10. We have players who are able to fulfill the number 10 role, but none of them is a traditional 10. We all have, what we have are wingers who are able to fulfill the 10 role, but traditionally not tens. But keep dropping the likes on the gym, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation. 35 likes, and we're still stuck on 12. 35 people following the show. We're still stuck on 12 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that. Chalobah wasn't bad today. He wasn't, really. In my opinion, he was not. As much as I think, look, and he's actually improving. He's looked, I think he's that sort of player that if you show him you trust him, I think you get the best out of him. Yeah. How can we support something that's hurting us? Imagine supporting a headache. Here's the thing. That's another way to put it. But here's the thing. How do I say it? Okay, how about let me say how about cutting your head? I don't want to say it so the video don't get monetized. It just listen, that analogy would have been perfect, but I think it will involve a language that could lead to the video being demonetized. Here's the thing, please, I am appealing to you because you can't stop the manager from selecting him if he wants to. His confidence, lack of confidence, is part of his problems right now. He's not the best dribbler, and as if I were the manager, I wouldn't use him against teams that defend it because he's that much of a dribbler. But if we play against teams like Manchester City or even Liverpool that play with a very high line, start Garnacho. Put the ball in behind the defensive line. Make sure you timed it properly, you weight it properly. If he gets at the end of it, it is by Felicia. The defenders are not going to be able to catch him. He's not a bad player. Even remember, I've said actually he will probably most likely be one of the first to leave if we need to make room to bring in another attacking player on that left hand side. And that's not down to him being a bad player. It's down to the sort of individual he is. He would want to go to someone else where probably he feels like he can be happier so that he can perform. He's not a bad player, and I'm going to keep saying it. But we're not going to gain anything from slating him week in and week out, abusing, because some abuse him. Some of them are not able to speak about him, just like you and I are doing right now. They just want to abuse him. But let's get back to Morgan Rogers. If you're in the chat, if you haven't spoken about Morgan Rogers, I'm listening. Let's hear you. Your thoughts. Would you like us to sign him and why? Rogers is Cole Palmer's best friend, so I think he will come to Chelsea. Here's the thing. Let's be honest here. Friendship aside, it's business for all parties involved. If he has multiple options, offers on the table, he'd go for the highest bidder from his salaries perspective. And if the disparity is a lot, the disparity in the salary, and you could say from other clubs that are interested in signing him compared to what Chelsea are willing to offer him, I think he'd take who pays him better, irrespective of whether he was a boyhood Chelsea fan or Cole Palmer is his best friend. No, that is secondary, really, in my opinion. But if we can offer him something good enough, I think he'd come to us. But we're sounding, from what we've heard so far, it sounds as if he's that sort of player that we're willing to go all in to get him to put pen to paper for us, which means we'll do whatever we can to get the deal across the line. So, but let's see what happens. More likes, people, more likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. 52 people following the show, and we're stuck on 50 likes. If half of you like the video, we'd have at least 25 likes, and 92 in total, 52 on YouTube. The rest shared between X and Facebook. If you're following the show on X or Facebook, please do us a favor, drop a like on the video, and also follow our X account or Facebook account. On Facebook, we're getting to 4,000 followers. On X, we're getting to 7,000 followers. And thanks to my bro Vince for helping in that regard. Yeah, I agree. And my bro Maya the rapper says Rogers improves our attacks so much, especially when he links up with Palma and João Pedro. Rogers can be a great addition. He can play more as a 10, so Palma can, stick to right wing. That is the sort of the response I'm looking for. But I know my other rapper, he's a busy man. But I like that. That's a delicious comment right there. Let's celebrate that particular comment here. Should I use a confetti? No, let's use starlight. Thank you. I need to beat. I need to make a beat that I can always use to celebrate Maya when he says something nice like this. All right. That's by the way. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. It is 5:39 p.m. CST. When Rogers was in the championship, he was playing more as a striker and a winger. And I think our manager, he will like that. Modern managers like versatile players a lot. Versatile players are, you could say, invaluable tool in the hands of managers, modern day managers. So I think he would like him, and it was something as if we're willing to go all in for him, and I take him, even though I don't think he's more of a traditional 10. And the Heast is here. Michi, big up to you. You're a moderator. You can always share the link to your YouTube channel so people can go check it out. And when time allows, I pay attention. I'm paying attention to your schedule so that, balance it as I can, whenever I can get the time to join. I know it's late for you, but thank you for joining, Michi. Keep it real. What has Chalobah improved on? I think he's looked calmer on the ball. He's looked more confident on the ball. And again, he's unique. He's not, you can say, he's not as good on the ball as you can say the rest of our defenders. But he gets the job done. It doesn't, and the truth is, it doesn't have to be fancy. Let's be honest there. It really doesn't have to be fancy, but he gets the job done. And I appreciate that a lot. And I think the manager appreciates that too. You cannot say he hasn't improved. I think you'd be lying to yourself if you're saying he hasn't improved. He's improved, and I'm quite sure you, Chimera of all people, you know that. But you're just trying to be on a typical Igbo boy. Too predictable. Let's work with what we have, really. If you feel like it's not good enough, can we change that now? We cannot. We just cannot. So I think we're better off working with what we have. And I'm happy with that. All right, let's see. Says, I want to see Esteval, Palma, Pedro for once. Can Uncle Rosinia do that? Drew, here's the thing. Esteval, for me, he's not fully fit. I was expecting him to play today. Probably isn't fully fit. Didn't look fully fit the last time. Remember, he had to travel to Brazil for personal reasons. Was given a compassionate leave, according to the manager. Was Montmana in the building? You just seeing him now? Chalobah provides girlfriend. Yeah, he really he's good too. You're welcome, Michi. It's always love, bro. Always love. Let's see. Montmana. Okay, I think something happened. I refreshed the page, so something like that. But that's a bug to fix. So we have to code in something to always not, you could say, check who, have a list of record the list of people that he's already said hello to so that it doesn't keep repeating itself. I'm not going to read what what man is saying here, but let me just read one. Mudman says, "Nah, bro, Chelsea like that mate who keeps borrowing money but never pays you back, always promising the world. But Savin, I'm gonna block Mudman. He's speaking like Chimera right now." All right, let's see what we have. We Chalaba has improved. We just want to cook agenda without Chalaba. You won't see top four. Honestly, we could have been worse off if we don't have him. We would be worse off if we don't have him. Let's be honest here. Um, uh, I mean, because yeah, we're humans, aren't we? We're humans. So um, all right. We're all human. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. 42 people following the show, but we're stuck on 15 likes. If half of you like the video, would have at least 20 likes. So if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. One second here. Give me a second here. Let me check something quickly. All right. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's continue. What else do we have? Morgan Rogers to Chelsea. Let's see what Chelsea fans have to say. Because I'm quite sure we'll get a lot of comments from Chelsea fans in the response. Is it replies, maybe? Richard Usani says, you should be ashamed of yourself. My goodness. Wow. All right, Rogers Palma Estavo Otulara, my bro there, and a friend of mine. Bring him home, stop monitoring, and go all in. Title contendant signing. Blue Co cannot afford him. I think we can. If we're serious about signing him, I think we can. Palma, Rogers, and Estavo together. I hope they get him soon. A very, very good player. We can use Cole Palmer to turn his head, maybe tap him up and sign him. But that's a small opinion anyway. What else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation. And Awele Icon. I think that's Awele. That must be Awele, an Igbo man, if I must say. But Mr. Awele, thank you for joining the conversation. No new signings. Nope. The January transfer window is behind us right now. But yeah, we will be hearing a lot of rumors or players that were interested in signing even before summer transfer window arrives. Next one, let's move. Vince's timeline. Vince, my bro. Let's see anything there. We've talked about this. I think this is no coincidence, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I believe they're trying, you can say, to turn his head or maybe tap him up. Because yeah, if he says he wants to leave, irrespective of whether he's on a contract that expires in 2047, him wanting to leave changes everything. In all honesty, I don't think we can deny that. But yeah, I'm just gonna stick with. I think as what I've said before. In my opinion, I think that's not a coincidence. And I'm gonna repeat myself. Something I've said already. We all know that Bruno Fernandez wouldn't want us to win games because yeah, we're practically neck and neck. That if they drop points, if we win, we will leapfrog them in the table. So this is a coordinated effort. That's my theory. It's a coordinated effort because we've seen Manchester United. I've talked about this before, but I'm just saying it again. We've seen Manchester United aligned account talk about how yeah they've heard Chelsea say that Cole Palmer isn't for sale. That yeah every player is for sale. Yeah. So they know exactly what they're doing. We've seen Manchester United legends talk about the possibility of signing Cole Palmer. We've seen pundits, Manchester United aligned pundits talk about the possibility of Manchester United signing Cole Palmer. So once again, I'm going to repeat myself. Bruno Fernandez commenting what a player on that Cole Palmer's post on Instagram is no coincidence. It's a deliberate, you can say, action, in my opinion. Not just I get it whether he was part of the plan or not is still a deliberate action, but this is a deliberate action designed just to show him love. You can say, see, maybe test the waters at this point. Yeah. And Michi is saying glad Liam got the win. We can drop points after big matches. He is doing well so far. Battle with Manchester United. Here's one thing I like the most about Liam. That's the difference between him and Enzo Maresca that I like about him. I'm not by any stretch of imagination saying Enzo Maresca's approach was SSIT. The point I'm trying to make, the vertical approach, the vertical, and he a lot more vertical passes on the Liam Rosenior, and that makes a huge difference. Which simply means over time, these players will be very, very good at exploiting the slightest of spaces they see on the pitch, and pay attention how we pass the ball. Each time, except sometimes we do go sideways. But each time there's space to exploit, we do exploit them. And each time we'll do that, we're displacing 2-3 opposition players. We didn't do that constantly on the Enzo Maresca. But on the Liam Rosenior, you could argue that's the most important aspect of his approach. Vertical passes. Ensure you displace an opposition player once you pass the ball. And that has helped us a lot. That has helped us quite a lot. I like that a lot. I'm not throwing Enzo Maresca's approach into the gutter, but I'm just saying that's a difference that I admire a lot. All right, up big Ty. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this evening. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you once again. 17 likes. The likes are growing, but I think we can do a lot better than 17 likes. Let's try and get it to 100 likes today. I think we can. Up big Ty, once again, the East is here. And Chimera is saying, Sa is a replacement of one of the starting CVs. He's not a bench warmer, and by process of elimination, Chalobah will make way. No. Chalobah is different. And I'm going to say this again. Chalobah simplifies it. He might not be the best ball playing defenders we have, but I think he's good enough to a considerable measure. But he keeps it simple. He simplifies things when needed. He's more of a traditional defender than the rest of our defenders, and it's needed. If Chalobah leaves tomorrow, it'd be because he wants to leave. Badiashile probably will end up leaving first before Chalobah. He's not perfect, and you can say he's in his prime right now. I correct me if I'm wrong, or he's getting there. But no, we may actually see the pairing of Sa and Chalobah, because Sa is also capable of playing on the left. Chalobah isn't going anywhere. At least not right now. Not even in the summer. Except if he sees no future at Chelsea, he figures out that maybe Chelsea just want to keep him as a squad player, then he might well push to leave. But that's my opinion anyway. Hi to you too, Lucilla. Happy they with 3 points. Amado Onana does like this, right? Puts it in its jacket or coat. Now I want the same thing on Tuesday against Leeds United. I think we're a different type of team, and I've talked about that. I think there will be a lot of spaces against Leeds United for us to exploit. If we can take our chances on the day, I think we will beat them. Can we beat them? Yes. And as I always tell people, but more importantly, will we beat them? The second question, the follow-up question I usually ask, that's for the manager and the players to answer. All right, Liam has a player binding to him, and they seem to love him. Yeah, they seem to love him. I think a Chelsea coach needs to allow the lab to go on loan. He's not going on loan. He will pick up form. I'm not concerned. The signs are good, actually, if you're paying attention. To any of the small clubs to enable him to pick up his form back, I think he will pick up his form back at Chelsea. Don't worry too much. Remember, I tell you that one day. And let's see, Saw is not good in the air. I'm worried about that. Is he not really good on the? I think he is considerably good on the air. I think he is really. I'm not sure what why Ty is cracking up, but Ty, enjoy yourself. The link up play between Santos and the other two is growing. Would- I just stick. I'm just gonna stick with chemistry. Santos is more like when the three of them are on the pitch. I'm trying to. I would think the three of them, him, Santos, and Moises Caicedo. Let me just take two of them: Santos and Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. Wow, that's you can say both. I must say they're proven to be one of our best 2-6 pairing so far. I get it. Maybe the application might be different, but having both in the midfield makes a whole lot of difference. A lot, you can say, a much tighter security for our defensive line than when we have other variation in there. Or maybe a different pairing to use a more specific language there. I was happy he started with a strong lineup that sealed the 3 points. But I like a lot about him, in my opinion. I am laughing because I said word for word your greetings for me. Oh my, because you know me. Yeah, you know me well enough to be able to nail that style. More likes, people, more likes, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. If you're following the show and you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the video. Please help us garner more likes. Let's see here. Give me a second here. I'm checking for something. Just logging some information here that helps the training of Mod Mana. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Okay, Liam. He says that Liam Rosenior stayed back after training to work on his to work on this touch. I like that guy. I like his sense of humor. I like the fact that he has a thick skin. I like it. After controlling the ball with his with his shin on the touchline in Nigeria, we had a joke at the time that if somebody's trying to say you're not a good enough player or you're not good enough, it's either they call you JB, which means junior ball, junior boy, which interprets it could be interpreted as one being a bad footballer, or they will say, if I throw this ball to you right now, are you gonna be able to trap it? If you say yes, they say no, you probably eat it. But yeah, that's a good one right there, and I like it really. But that's by the way. Let's see what else do we have here. Um, yeah, the Cole Palmer thing. Let's see how Chelsea fans interpret this. For me, I've explained how I interpret that. It's no coincidence. And Temba says Bruno knows what he wants to steal from Caesar. Exactly. I think he sees it the way I sees it. Yeah, that's no coincidence. Bruno saw the news about Parma to United, and now he's trying to milk it a funny guy. Yeah, I think it's a coordinated effort. That's how I see it. Let's see. Recognized class. Cole Palmer would have gone far with his record-breaking performance if not for the injury. This guy doesn't get it, but I respect anybody that sees it the way I see it. I respect those that see it differently. But for me, that is no coincidence for reasons I've explained. Let's see. He has 4 hat-tricks before Saka got one. Ice cold. I speak emoji, but I don't want to start reading those ones there. Bluefooty, should we be concerned by this comment? I think you should be, Drabby. If you're watching the show, you probably, which I don't think you are, but yeah, I think you should be concerned. But I don't think you should be concerned, but I think you should see it as what I believe it is. They're trying to turn his head. They're trying to show him a lot of love, make him understand they want him. Yeah, they know exactly what they're doing. It's not easy to admit. No, it's not him just admitting Cole Palmer is good. For me, yeah, that's how I reason. I don't give such thing a chance. You understand? So it's time to start looking at the post-game comments from the players, the manager, pundits alike. A lot of fun to have while doing that. But we're still stuck on 19 likes. We can do much, much better than that. Awele Icon. Awele, let me know if you're an Igbo man. I'd really appreciate that. If you tell me, if you confirm that you're Igbo man, I'll sing an Igbo song for you. For now, Chelsea coach needs to have to know his first 11. I think he knows now, and stop changing formations. I think he already knows. He's had, you can say, we've had two occasions where he had to make up to 5 changes or so, which tells you the 11 he had started that had started the game didn't perform, so that he had to make that many changes for me. But he had to anyway. More importantly, on those occasions, he had to make that many changes because the games were coming in thick and fast. And we know it's important that we rotate now. Otherwise, we will burn out our most important players and then suffer in the long term. So I don't think it makes sense to, for the sake of a short term gain, make mistakes that will lead to us suffering long term. Let's see what Maud Manor has to say here. Now, you lot are just jealous that Chelsea got Palmer, the coldest kid in the league, while your teams are still waiting for a miracle in it. Look at the AI trying to sound British there. So let's see. Post game commentaries. Let's see what we can find and have fun with here. I'm gonna try to display this like this. That way, on the vertical format, my picture will still show. So yeah, we ended 3-1. And we could have scored a lot more on the day. And the one we considered, yeah, I mean, okay, we didn't play with a pole. So statistics here, and I think if you're not following Chelsea stats, I think you should. I think Vince owns that account too. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think there was a time where he made it clear that he owns his account, saying something to the effect of "Go and follow my other account." Go follow Chelsea stats. You will like it. A lot of, you can say, it educates you on records that the players break on the manager, or you can say head to head with the team we're playing against or something like that. But it says Liam Rosenior has become just the second English manager in Premier League history to win his fourth 4 games in charge. He's had excellent performance to life as a Chelsea manager. The loss against Arsenal, you could argue we were unlucky. Goalkeeper mistakes in the first leg, plus in the first leg, plus unlucky in the second one. But I think he's an excellent tactician, and I want to see what he's got in store for Arsenal come, I think, March 1st. Let's see what happens. So Awele Icon says he's an evil man. Okay, I'm gonna go for praise and worship. Dalu Chineken, Dalu Mema, Dalu Chineyamundu, Dalu Yama, Dalu Mema. Okay, I promised you I was going to do it, and I did it. Okay, so let's see. What do we have next here? This is Cole Palmer this season, 10 goals and assists in just 12 starts, and he's not even fully fit. Let that sink in. What does that tell you? He's an excellent player, but I still would say something I've said before. I don't think it might happen, but it's going to be very difficult. If you're waiting to see the Cole Palmer we experienced under Mauricio Pochettino, Very, very difficult for that to happen. And I've explained why. Um, at the time, we were chaotic. And right now, we're more of a unity than we were at the time. And the time was so we use mainly a transitional approach under Mauricio Pochettino. But more importantly, I think what aids, I think the most important thing that will aid what I'm trying to say here is the fact that at the time we're very chaotic, not a unit, and there were a lot of hero moments, and he was good enough to take nearly, you could say, large portion of the hero moments that came his way. And so right now, we're more of a unit. I think he will have more assists than goals from now on. Chances are he'll still be able to replicate the sort of form he showed under Mauricio Pochettino, but it's going to be very, very difficult. That's not down to him not being a good player or a bad player. No, that's the opposite. All right. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. It's the 6:03 p.m. CST, and I cannot thank you guys enough. We're getting closer and closer to 30K subscribers. We're currently at 29,228 subscribers. Let's see how soon we can get to 30K subscribers. All right, let's see. Next, what do we have here? Colt Palmer versus Wolves, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I don't need to show the video here. I don't want us to get into trouble. This year says Aston Villa have been dragged into top five race. We're just 4 points behind them. Things change quickly, and I suspect they might do a Nottingham Forest. I think probably they're going to start dropping points, and they're stretched because they're involved in the European competition and the Premier League. They don't have that deep of a squad. So I think probably they could continue dropping points, and I'm happy we have 17 goals, 7 more goals than Manchester United, and 8 more goals than goal difference. Let me be more specific there than Aston Villa, because chances are we'd find ourselves in a situation where goals will be, you can say, the factor to determine who plays in next season's Champions League football. So, but I'm happy that we have a lot more goals than them. Not bad. So in first place, 56 Manchester United, and I'm gonna say if 56 points Arsenal. If tomorrow, if Man City win their game, beat Liverpool, I think they're playing against Liverpool tomorrow. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that would put a whole lot of pressure on Arsenal. They haven't won this game is far from over. This you can say Premier League it's far from over. It's still very open. Even Aston Villa still has a chance. I get it. It's how many points now? Because anything can happen. It's not like we have just 3 games to go or so. But that's by the way. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. What else do we have here? Liam Rosenior on Reece James. He should be fit for Tuesday. It's not a major problem at all. It's a knock. But I'm happy that he was rested. It just wouldn't make sense to overstretch players, whereas we have other players who are capable of coming in to, you can say, starting over them and doing an equally good job, and sometimes even better job. But I don't know who'd come in for Reece James and do an even better job. We cannot have Arteta lifting a quadruple. Do I think that happens? Probably, most likely not. They might end up winning one. Which one? I don't know. It's still a possibility they might end up not winning any. That Chris Antonio. Chris Antonio, thank you for joining the show. If this is your first time here, we appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. Feel at home, express yourself here. Your opinion matters. All we ask of you is to keep it civil. So, Chris Antonio, thank you so much for joining the conversation. All right, next item. Bobby Vincent, we know what a world-class player he is when he is at his best. he is unstoppable, and it looks like Rosinia has found a way to, you can say, to make him happier than he was under Maresca. I just don't want to get into that, but he's always looked happy. I think all the nonsense we've been, you can say, seeing out there, uh, all all nonsense. Give me a second here. All right, Liam Rosenior, he says we changed the system a bit for the first time in the first half. Obviously, Cole gets a three goals, but some of our football was everything I wanted to see. He was a part of that. I mean, our football today was delicious to watch. I have to say, it was beautiful. The vertical passes, and each time we passed the ball, we're displacing one, two, three opposition players, and we looked so confident. And I saw a post from my friend and bro in Lewis G, saying how relaxed, how it was just first half, but he's so relaxed. Give me a second here. I'm sorry, it's difficult to do with my kids at the same time. The vertical passes were so delicious to see. I'm not having a slight dig at anybody, but I'm just being honest. Yeah, it was enjoyable. It was beautiful. It was a controlled performance. We were never at a risk any time, and the change in approach made it difficult for the Wolves manager and the players as well to find a counter approach. They just couldn't. I know they had their moments, but it didn't look like we were on the any sort of, you could say, threat that will lead to us not winning that game. Yeah. So special football. He's a special footballer. I agree with Liam Rosenior there, but it was an excellent. It was beautiful to watch. Liam Rosenior, there's a lot of positives, but I want us to keep focusing on what we can improve. We've got a difficult game on Tuesday against a strong Leeds United. Yeah, we've always struggled against Leeds United. But my goodness, the last time we played them, I don't want to talk about that game. They mopped the stadium carpet with us. They really did, honestly. So for me, I am happy the way we play, and I'm gonna say this again. I am not having a slight dig at Enzo Maresca. I think he's a good manager, but if you present the two managers to me right now and say choose one, I would choose Rosinia for reasons. I would, for reasons that you can say for things you can say I'm seeing up close. Even though I was concerned at first that I wanted him to stay two more years at Strasbourg before you can say getting a chance to become Chelsea coach, but he's proven that he does know his, as Nigerians would say, he knows his onions. Yeah. But I have the legendary Bobby in the house, as senior panelist in Bobby Smoky Signal. Bobby, big up to you and thank you for finding the time to join me on the panel. How are you doing?
Yeah, big up, coach.
Big up to
Um,
you, Bobby. We're still going. I'm still getting the news comments, and if I see anything interesting, I will let you. We'll still get to the game proper very soon. But I want to ask you, what do you make of the news that we're keeping an eye on Morgan Rogers' situation at Aston Villa? That is something, yeah, it's a news item we've talked about here. A lot of Chelsea fans want him. What do you think? I think it'd be a good signing, but whether we'll be able to make that deal happen, I do not know. But the fact, you can say what we're reading, it suggests that he's that sort of player that will probably, after sorting out our situation with UEFA, he's that sort of player we're willing to go all in for. He looks, and I think it'd be the fact, again, his relationship with Cole Palmer, you could argue, will make it a lot easier for us. But let's hear you, Bobby.
yeah, big up, coach.
Big
I
up to you
mean,
too.
it sounds nice, but I don't know where or how this is coming.
From
I think
Fabrizio
he
Romano.
signed. Oh, well, Fabrizio, wasn't he the person that was going on and on about the whole Jeremy Jacquet thing?
I mean, because we were
Um,
there, weren't we? He didn't lie.
yeah, that's true. Did we need to be there? That's another question, isn't it? Um, I don't know. Didn't he sign a new contract with Villa?
No, I don't think he has. I don't know. I don't remember.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
if he hasn't, then that makes sense. But if he has, I would have my doubts. You know, I just wanted to make one added comment. I caught the tail end of what you said about Rosinia,
Mm.
and I'm inclined to agree. It's not about it's not about disrespecting a coach or
No,
other,
it's
but
not. Yeah,
you
but
know,
we have
Rosinia
choices now.
has
If we're going to that place, go ahead.
he seems to be showing a deeper understanding of the game,
Mm.
especially the English game. He's flexible. He's not, stubborn in thinking, oh, I can only play this one
A
way,
certain way.
which is ridiculous. He seems very pragmatic as a coach. And, time will tell just how good he is. But he gives, well, maybe it's because of the position he's in, but he's giving, a lot of players a chance. Players like Hato, he's giving a chance, who I have to add, we're still trying to find out, who he is, to be honest. He hasn't ripped up trees, but he hasn't done badly either. So, um, yeah, I have to agree that at this moment in time, if given a choice between the two of them, I will go Rosinia all the way.
And let me ask you quickly: have you heard how what Kupama said about him? And I think
No.
Obama, he said that Enzo Fernandez, he said something similar that he's given them freedom to express themselves. And you could argue that's actually obvious given the way they apply themselves on the pitch. You could say, because you could say Enzo Maresca, the difference is that he's an idealistic manager
Hmm.
and his system to a certain extent, even though I get it, he changed things around. But the basics, you can argue, I mean, it's easy for one to say the basics of his approach meant, yeah, it was a bit rigid for certain players. That they don't have, not all of them has that much freedom to express themselves like they do now. But
Yeah.
Cole Palmer said
I,
it he said it blatantly. He's giving them freedom to express themselves. They're all speaking they've all have spoken very highly of him.
yeah, I can believe that. Certainly, Enzo Fernandez nearly looks a different player. So yeah, I can actually believe that. We'll see. There's a whole lot of
All right, can I appeal to you for something I said when the show started? Even if you don't like him, can we just concentrate in supporting him at least when the transfer window opens and we I start pushing it? Because now he probably it wouldn't help us do us any measure of good to continue. You can say talking about how he isn't good enough. I don't think he's a bad player, but he might well end up being one of the first to make way for us to accommodate a new signing. But I don't think it would do us any measure of good to continue talking about that. Any as a kid, it will eventually get to him. And he, for me, like I told those that were watching at the time, he has a younger brother who lives on social media. Will probably relay everything that's been said about him online. Uh, it's just going to make the manager's job a bit more difficult. I don't care if he leaves tomorrow. But I think irrespective of how we feel of him, let's just focus on supporting him. That's not gonna change now. We need him actually. If we take away the goals he's scored for us since joining or created for us, I think we'll probably be you say a little not worse off, a bit worse off on the in the table, irrespective of what we think of him. Same with Gittins. So I just think, irrespective of what we think, this is not a debate whether he's good enough or not. I'm just appealing to my fellow Chelsea fans. Let's just, yeah, irrespective of what we think of him, let's support him when the time comes. If he isn't good enough, he's definitely gonna move on. You get my point, but go ahead. What you were saying, Bob? The difference was that Harter was deployed in the middle today. I think so. Yeah. Mhm. I mean, I think he's smart enough that we don't need to remind him that. Mhm. Mhm.
No, it's going to be disrespectful. It's going to be disrespectful. I mean, when one thing about football is if you push a player, especially a defender, in a position where you know that there is a player that can a player of that position is always going to be disrespectful. That's one of the key thing that
Oh,
no
when
no
he
no
was
but
picking up. Okay, go ahead,
no,
Bobby.
when it's also happened the same thing. That was one of the that was one of the main point that people raised when Moresca was here. So you wouldn't like Rosina to make the same mistake. Do you remember when we have Santos on the bench and then he deployed um Gusto to play the 10 role?
I mean, you actually
You're
you're speaking from fans' perspective.
no,
How
yeah,
fans
I'm
view
not.
him.
I'm not speaking from fans' perspective. I'm speaking from the this the management team, the hierarchies. Do
Mm,
you also remember
The
when
only the only difference in that is that Santos is actually an effective player. This guy is totally
yeah,
ineffective. Totally
yeah, I
ineffective.
understand. I understand, but do you all remember when this coach used to play Cole at um left back, when we all know Cole wasn't a left back
Pochettino.
and it was
So that's
uh,
that's what I'm saying. You're
That
speaking from
was
fans' perspective.
no, no, it's not from
yeah.
the fans'
That was
perspective.
Pochettino. Yeah, you're right.
When they sacked Pochettino, that was one of the key reasons. They brought the reasons out, and they said he was playing players out of position, and he was playing Cole consecutive on the left flank, and they didn't like that. So you wouldn't like him to play Hato, and even Hato is also now finding his feet because previous game he wasn't performing. He's now performing. So when you try to deploy him to play him in a position that he's not familiar with, it's always going to cause a problem. Like at least you have to start him in a place where he will feel much confident because he's also getting his feet and he's also building his confidence. So I wouldn't think that would be a right idea to play him in that position. I think also, listen, I never thought that Ganacho was this bad. Trust me. I had um Manchester United supporters were cursing him out, saying a whole lot of things, and I thought like they were over exaggerating. But my God, listen, I watched Ganacho versus West Ham and I was like, I never thought to get this bad. I've never craved for Modric than this before. Like sometimes that is why they say, listen, be careful what you wish for. Sometimes you might have a player and you'll be like, oh man, this player is bad. So they
Yes,
bring another
I
player
hope you
in.
guys will humor my appeal. I still don't think he's a bad player, but something isn't quite right, especially
No,
in that game against West Ham United. Um, yeah, he
I
was
think
off on the day.
I think something is wrong when it comes to his mentality. I don't know if it's lack of confidence or something is wrong with him. I think right now the coach has to know how to use him. Like yesterday when he brought him in at that time, I had no problem with that because that
Yeah.
is how you build players' confidence by bringing them in, like for them to, especially when you are winning, and then you bring them in for them to
I think
find their feet
his best performances for us has been off the bench.
off the bench. So this
That's
is
what I'm
what
saying.
I
Irrespective of how you see it, we can change that right now. We cannot move him on right now, even if you want the club to move him on. So we'd be better off supporting him, get the best out of him. When the time comes, if the club agrees that yeah, he's not been measuring
but
our expectation, living up
but
to
coach,
our
also the issue
expectations, then
is
we
that
move him on.
the
Just Hakim quickly, just because Bobby is very late for him. Bobby, were you still speaking or you're good? Sorry, Hakim, just give me 1 second. So, because it's very, but go ahead, Hakim. It's very, very late for Bobby, so that's why I wanted him to drop before you come in. But go ahead.
No, no,
Were you still speaking, Bobby?
no, I was,
Okay, you good? All right.
yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Go ahead, Hakim. You were saying something.
yeah, as I was saying, I said um the only issue is that at this moment, Ganacho is they brought Ganacho in to be our first team player. You understand? So and now Gittins is also gone out of injury. So that will cause a whole lot of problem. That will I don't know how they are going to mix things up to make it work
I think we'll be
because
all right.
yeah, we will be all right. So
Yeah.
right now, they really have to make Garnacho work. They really have to make it work.
He
So
will hasten. I'm not concerned. I think we'll be fine here. Well, and Hakim, I wanted to ask you, but before I do that, just quickly, let me say hello to my sister here. But she supports Arsenal, but I still believe she's secretly a Chelsea fan. Miss Melina, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. It's 6:26 p.m. CST. Thank you once again. And people go and check out Miss Melina's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help her continue to grow. She's an Arsenal fan, but she covers on her channel. She covers the EPL and beyond, and her football knowledge is just excellent. Go check it out. I'm gonna pin the link to her YouTube channel at the very top so that everybody that joins can go check it out. And very nice person, more importantly. Hakim, your thoughts on Fabrizio Romano's report that we are following, or the exact word he uses, that we're attentive to Morgan Rogers' situation at Aston Villa, and it is one to watch for the summer. Yeah, I think he did say something to that effect too. Is he a player you would want to see at Chelsea, or do you have other options you'd rather we sign? Let's say you, Hakeem.
Yeah, I can never say no to Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers is a baller. Like, uh, he's going to when like if you watched him, like I've watched him for several times, and he is a player that when we have in our team, he's going to make a whole lot of changes. And I think when they, if I don't know if I can trust these people to bring these sort of players in. I'm not going to hover on this news and try to make things out of it because these people have showed us that they will disappoint you when you depend on them. So unless I see it happening, I'm not going to be a fool again, thinking that like they are monitoring it, they are all these words, like they are monitoring him, they are doing this. No, I'm not going to put my faith in them unless they make it happen because I've been a victim of their games, and I don't want to be I don't want to be
You don't want to get your
believe
hopes
them
up.
again. No, I don't want to get my hopes up when they are targeting a player. No.
Mhm. All right, let me ask you this. I don't think you've been, you could say, we haven't had you on the panel since Rosina became our manager. I want to get your thoughts. How do you see his approach? What do you have to say about him so far? His start to life as a Chelsea manager. Um, I mean, positives and negatives. If you have both, let's hear you.
I don't think I have any negative things to say about him. Like on the field games, you could see the thing. You like if you are football enthusiast and you watch football, you could see what he's tried to implement. But I would say the only negative thing that I would say is like he tried to played some players in like some sort of I don't know, some mad scientist sort of informations that sometimes you question that formations. And it was only one game that was against Arsenal. But all the previous games, he was able to twist things and make things work things are things are going wrong. So I don't think I have anything negative to say
You
about
sound
him. And
like you're one of those felt like we could have risked everything against Arsenal. I think for me, he did the right thing. A very cautious approach for me. I'd do the same if I were him. Arsenal, they're very good as a good side, especially at home. Had we gone into that game without, you could say, with just with the focus to only attack and get goals, I think chances are before the end of the first half would be down 3 goals. In all
uh,
honesty, and it
yeah, but
nearly
you
worked.
also have to
It
put
nearly
you
it
have to
nearly worked, really.
Yeah, you also have to put in consideration also. I think their main man wasn't in the game. So I believe like uh, uh, on that game, I wasn't so angry. Like I wasn't so angry. I was disappointed, but I wasn't so angry. And I was proud of what I saw. Like and also like I like that, he could put things together, like he does things with intention, not doing things for doing things sake. Even if you see our information, even if you watch the Chelsea game, the today's game, when we are passing the ball, we are passing the ball with intention. We are passing the ball
All,
to make sure that
majority
some,
were all vertical passes. Every pass displaces one, two, three opposition players. That's how he differs from Enzo Maresca.
yeah,
Um,
with Enzo Maresca, like
but I'm not. This
I,
that's not me saying Enzo Maresca was bad for us. But you get the
uh,
point. Yeah.
yeah, to be honest, Enzo Maresca ball, like trust me, I had like for me it's it's boring, and it's more like the players are playing football, like they are playing the game hoping that the other team will make mistake for us to capitalize, or trying to play the ball sideways and then cross, and it's so one-sided. But since
Rosinia.
Liam Rosinia came in, you could tell like we have different type of ways of trying to make things happen. If you've watched it, like today's game, for instance, like we are playing the game in the middle. For the first time in Chelsea football, I've seen us playing like a three passes or four passes in the middle to reach the opposition penalty in the penalty box. I don't remember the last time I was watching Chelsea that were able to do some things like that. And the execution, everything was going on as we want, like with intention. If the players give a pass, they give the pass because they know that, like, they have a plan behind the pass. But with Enzo Maresca, sometimes, like, I wonder when I was like, what the hell are we doing? Sometimes they play and they're out of ideas and then they hoof the ball inside. But today's game was so relaxed.
I mean,
And
I'd go to the extent of saying since he became our manager, I think that's one of the first things I noticed on with regards to how his approach differs with that of Enzo Maresca. Vertical passes, majority of our passes are all vertical and all with intent. Like you said, as you've said already, each pass displaces the opposition players, and I like that. And intensity. But
yeah,
go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Apologies for cutting you off.
yeah, and like, when was the last time that you saw Joao Pedro like so confident and like I'm not before I thought like I reached a point where I was like no, and all Chelsea supporters have reached a point where they were like nah, Joao Pedro is not that player that we thought
I
he
wasn't
is.
one of those. I wasn't too happy with this one, but I decided to, you could say, just let it rest when I learned that he was carrying an injury.
Yeah, but then to like since Liam came, Rosinia came, you could tell like even if we like even like you could tell that things have changed. How like his approach on the ball, like sometimes under our previous coach, when when he's on the ball, sometimes he takes too long on the ball, and then he doesn't know like there isn't no player that for him to play with to get to a position or for him to try to create something. But on today's game, like on the previous games, I think it has been one of his best games, and all like he's getting the best out of all the players. Like you could tell, like Santos, he's getting best out of Santos. He's getting best out of at some point even Cucurella was deforming. He's getting best out of Cucurella. Like he's getting best out of even the defenders. So I have known like every coach have their little bit of negativity, but I don't think uh, I'll concentrate much more on the negative because there isn't a lot for me to say when it comes to
At least
the
let's say
negative
at the
part.
moment.
Yeah, at the moment there isn't
Yeah.
nothing to say about negative. Like there's going to be mistakes, but then I think the good side have overshadowed the negative side. So I'm really happy with how he approached games, and I'm really happy with his substitutions, and I'm happy with some of the things that I was complaining. I'm happy with everything that is going on right now, and I hope that we continue on this trajectory, and then hope sure like make sure that at least within third and fourth, you know, like we will finish around third or fourth.
I do hope so too. I will continue reading. I will continue reading. Sorry about that. I will continue reading the post game comments from the manager, players, and all of them. And if you hear me read anything you'd like
But coach,
to,
I want to ask you something.
yeah,
Have
go
you
ahead.
heard anything about Santos?
With regards to his fitness, right?
No, he was out of the game because of a knock or something.
That's what I'm saying. With regards to his fitness, that still to his fitness, he was taken off. So,
Yeah.
and we're not too sure the reason why he was taken off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't heard anything. If I hear anything, I'll let you know. Chimera is here. Chimera says, me negative says Neto was awful. Can we stop that? Here's the. Well, I think we all know Neto isn't a bad player. I think we know he's not a bad player by any stretch of imagination. I think something isn't quite right. Some you could say in this case, let's say the same thing we did say about we said about Garnacho. We need to give him time. He was one of our best players last season, and I don't think it's okay to give up on players when they start struggling. Form is never permanent.
Coach, I think people are just talking because
Yeah,
I don't know how they want Neto to play. Yes, he makes some mistakes. It's every football players. When you watch other games, like a lot of wingers, they make mistakes. Especially at this point, wingers don't even score goals anymore. In like before. If I put players like Doku, you might say, "Oh, Doku is good," but how many goals have Doku scored this season? It will surprise you if I tell you that Doku have scored like 2 goals or 3 goals this season in all comps. And how many goals does Neto has?
yeah.
Like these times, people teams have noticed that most of the the danger comes from the flanks. So they double on the especially play. You cannot perform on high, like you cannot be on high performance in English Premier League like throughout the season because they'll put two defenders on you. As
I
long
mean,
as soon as you score
form
like
is never permanent, even to the best of for the best players we've seen in world football. And sometimes you've seen them miss the easiest of chances, score the most difficult ones. I'm not. It's just you can say it's become a culture at Chelsea to just give once you start struggling for one reason or the other. To the average Chelsea fan, you're done, and I don't think that's okay. But again, people are entitled to their opinion, and I'm entitled to mine. But for me, I don't think the way we treat our players, my goodness, that's just not okay. And now, I don't know why they were stalking him and noticed that he's removed. They're saying he removed Chelsea from his Instagram header or profile. I'm not sure what would be the most accurate language there. But go ahead with what you were saying, Hakeem.
yeah, so and even Neto, they brought. I think Neto is even overachieving because Neto best trait is crossing in the box, but it's unfortunately that we don't have like a strikers apart from Joao Pedro, who is good in the air. So that is his best attribute, like to be able to cross the ball. So the things that he's doing is I've never seen him being the type of player that will dribble 3 or 4 players and then kill the ball in the corner of the, like he's not that type of player. It's not like Estova, and he has never been. So we all know the type of player that he is. So I don't understand why people are saying these negative things about him. And if anything, he's also creating chances. And even today's game, the first goal is from him. When you watch the first goal, like the first penalty, it's from him. It's from he picked the ball and then I think he gave the ball to who? To Joao
I think
Pedro.
it was a cross. Yeah, he picked the ball, switched it to the left hand side to Cuckoo.
Yes,
Somebody that who I think it was Enzo Fernandez that laid it on the carpet for Cucurella, who now put in a carpet cross for Copa
but
Match.
did you watch in a way of manner how he picked the ball? He fought for the ball and uh,
Yeah,
like
and
to give it to Enzo
yeah, and on
Fernandez.
the lap a bit. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think he's also one of the few like a few wingers that every um every back, like every defender would like to play with because he helps you
He tracks back
with
effectively.
defending. Yeah, he tracks back. Like so, I don't understand. Like they want the player to be 100%, and hardly will you get such players.
No, it's
So
never
yeah,
going to happen. He's a human being. Even machines, I've said this before, even machines make mistakes. Even machines that are pre-programmed to perform certain tasks at some point, you could say, malfunction. You understand? So it just doesn't make sense to keep slating him because he's struggled a bit. I get it; he can be frustrating at times, but if you understand football, you know that form isn't permanent. It's really that simple. Really, I feel bad for him. I hope the reason he's removed Chelsea from his profile isn't that he can say he's pushing to leave or he's not happy. I mean, if that's the case, good luck to him. But I hope it hasn't gotten to that extent. Yeah, that he's not happy and would want to leave. But uh, we just have to. We as Chelsea fans, I think we have to learn to do better, treat our players better, realize that they're humans. They're not perfect, and I'm quite sure a lot of our fans also in their daily lives they can say they don't perform consistently at the same level. Sometimes you can be tired. Sometimes you have some personal something going on, personal life that are capable of, you could say, in there was language I'm looking for, um, impacting your decision making or your efficiency. You say how efficient you can be at your workplace, but it's just an unfortunate situation, really. But go ahead with what you were saying, Hakim, so we can continue with the post game comments and all that.
I,
Go ahead,
I got
Bobby.
to add something
Oh,
to.
Bobby wants to talk.
Yeah, okay, go ahead,
You
Bobby.
know, we can't run away from a fact that at during the summer there was. Let me be kind and say there were mistakes made in squad planning. The sporting directors, yes, were trying to be prudent because of the European sanction and the new PSR rules and FFP. Well, that stands anyway, and just trying to keep our books within certain compliance. That they did some stupid things. Our wingers were were a huge failure. The purchase of Garnacho and Gittins for in excess of 90 million pounds to a club that was under some sort of sanction, some sort of European sanction, was off the mark. It was a mistake. There's no hiding from it. I think the other guy was saying, "Oh, we have to make Garnacho work." Well, you can never squeeze a square peg into a round hole. It's just never gonna fit. The guy's not good enough. Now, this has affected what's his name? Oh gosh. Oh gosh, the guy we're talking about. I don't know. It's late. I'm tired, and my brain isn't working
Neto.
properly.
Pedro
Neto,
Neto.
yeah, this has affected Neto. Neto is a good player. He is a good winger, but he has made some mistakes, and he's made some mistakes because we're over reliant on him. We put ourselves in a position to over rely on certain players. Thank God he's not, had the injuries he had he first when he first joined us, and thank God they've managed to step up to the plate to some extent. In fact, it's only recently that on the other end of the pitch, we've started giving a little bit of respite to Cucurella because Rosinia is showing a bit more faith in Hato, and yeah, we can see he's developing. But if you drip feed him into the team, there's a player there. But the wingers, the wing purchases have almost killed us. They've clipped our wings, to be honest. They've clipped our wings such that we even against Arsenal in the quarterfinal had to play. Gosh, we had to play Liam Delap as a right winger because of the obvious need for physicality when we were hit with injuries to the likes of Reece James, and I think Gusto was injured for that game as well, if I remember rightly. I can't remember now. So look, it's the overall deficiency that's creating this current problem. Wing play is such that yes, you are under a lot of the microscope. If you're not really on it, if you're not running, firing on all cylinders, the drop off is notable, and so you look bad. And this is what happens to Neto a little bit. Sometimes he's not firing on all cylinders. The drop off is huge compared to what he was doing or what he's capable of doing. And so he looks bad from time to time. And that's because there's no squad depth. There's nothing. He has no respite. Today, they used, or Rosinia used to start with, Jao Pedro on the left side. When he decided to bring off Copama and bring him further in, what did he do? He brought on Garnacho, and the drop off was humongous. The guy gives us nothing, no dribbling, no beating his man, no crossing, nothing. no physicality, no assisting the defense, nothing. And so we go down to 10 men. That's what happens. And what was the reason? Bad choices made in the summer. Now, what is the answer to that at the moment? I'm not sure. I hope it doesn't hurt us as the season goes on. We're going to have to play players in the wrong position in order to compensate for this deficiency. Now we've completely lost Gittins, who, to be fair, we could say is a developing player. And I continue now to beat the drum. Okay, Gittins is a developing player. Send him to Strasbourg, despite the fact it'll be the record that we've sent a player that cost over 40 million to our developmental team, because let's just be right, that's who they are, and buy back Morera, who would do far
No,
more.
Morera is not. Morera is not a right winger,
Let,
a left winger.
let me fit. Let me fit. He can play there. He will do far
No, but he
more in
can
that.
and he's not. You understand? It's different. Like if we are to sell
Well,
Gittins or Garnacho,
well,
we have to get a play.
Pedro Neto is not a right winger. He's originally a left winger. It's
But go
Yeah,
just
ahead,
but
he
he
does
Louis. Go
plays
ahead.
left
Go
more.
and
ahead,
right.
Louis.
But if we bring him back and put him in that position, he will offer us leaps and bounds.
Uh,
Through the developmental ring, and you can see the fruit. We've got to a point now where two or three of those Strasbourg players are now Chelsea worthy, and we've got to bring them over. We've started off with Mamadou Sarr, though we're yet to see him, and it can't end there. But the deficiencies and the issues and the decisions that was made over the summer about squad planning, it has to be rectified. That's our problem, and that's my concern for the season, to be honest,
All right.
because this deficiency, honestly, coach, I'm very serious. This
No,
deficiency, especially
but
now
we're
we've
not
got
arguing. I
Leeds.
understand what you're coming from. I'm not saying you're lying or anything. No, I know what you're talking about, and I understand.
Now we've got Leeds coming, one or two players carrying knocks. What is he going to do? Play Garnacho again? Do me a favor, please. It's not working. We have to tell ourselves
I
the
don't
truth
think I
sometimes.
don't think Garnacho will start for Chelsea unless there's serious injury. What I think
I
Garnacho
think
will
he's
start from the
definitely
bench.
starting against Leeds United.
No, no, I don't think, coach. I think he'll start from the bench.
Okay, we'll see.
I
But
think
I'm
he'll
not
start from
saying
the
this
if
is not
Escobar,
argument.
imagine. Don't
This is
forget
not an argument
coach,
about how
have you
good he
forgotten about
is
Escobar
or
already?
how bad he is. It's about the
No, no, but
manager.
have you forgotten about Escobar already?
Escobar
Escobar
will
will
start
play
on
at
the
the
right hand side
yeah, and
next
then
game.
Neto will play on the left side.
No, Neto might not start. He might be on the
No,
bench
Neto
if
will play on the
needed.
left side. Coach, I'm telling you.
But don't
Neto
you
will play
think
on the left
Neto
side.
needs a rest?
You know, my point
Neto
is
needs
the
a rest. That's
rotation
part of the
might
No,
problem.
lead
he
to
doesn't need a rest. He
Garnacho
has
being
like
on the
about
pitch. Then,
1
if
week.
need
When is
be,
our next
if he
game?
underperforms, then the manager will take him off. That's the point I'm
Tuesday.
trying to make. I'm not saying this is
Yeah,
not an
Next
argument
game's
whether
on
he's good
Tuesday.
enough or not.
yeah, but what I'm saying is that when is our next game?
Tuesday. The
Tuesday.
Yeah,
turnaround is
just a few
very
days
speedy.
from
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, but Neto hasn't been playing a lot of game these days.
It
Neto hasn't
doesn't
played a
matter.
lot. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that Neto is not going to Garnacho is not going to start because
I feel like he might not, but it's in my opinion that he will most likely start. But
but
here's the thing: he's
one
not
thing
been
that I've liked about Rosinia
consistently.
is
But let me just say something. He's not been performing consistently, but his game against West Ham United was the worst I've ever seen. That is his worst has been since joining Chelsea. That even Dante has had to agree that something seemed off on the day. But that's by the way. Here's the thing. I think the
Something. I
manager will
was
watch him
there,
as
coach. I
long as
saw
if
him in the flesh.
whatever we don't know whether anything is going on. I don't know because that was the worst. Didn't even try. It wasn't even like he was on the pitch. I'm saying as long as he's fully fit, irrespective of how bad we think he is, we're probably most likely gonna see him on the pitch on the day. Then, if it doesn't work out, the manager would change him. Not because I'd say right now he doesn't deserve to start, given how bad he's been of late, but because the manager needs to rotate. Otherwise, Gittins isn't available, who is a much better
Coach,
complete
do you know
player
one
than
thing that I've
Garnacho.
noticed about Rosinia?
Sorry.
He, I said, do you know one thing that I've noticed about Rosinia?
Mhm.
I can tell you for a fact that he has gotten all the informations that he needed already. He has gotten the informations that he needed from players like Badiashile. He has gotten the information that he needed from players like Ganacho and some other players. You understand? So that is why when he came, he wasn't using like a Santos. He didn't start with Santos. But then when he got the information that he needed from Santos and got to notice that okay, he's worth like he has won his place to start, he started using players like Santos. And even players like Hato. But Ganacho, I know for a fact, like it's not like for a fact though, like I know that Ganacho is not starting on Tuesday.
Okay, let me ask you, who starts?
He'll start uh um Neto
What if Neto
and
injures? What happens?
Neto
Gets
is
injured.
not
What happens?
injured. Neto is not injured.
Now I'm asking, what if he gets injured on
Yeah,
that
when he
day?
gets injured is different. It's different thing because he is the
That's the
player that we
point.
have.
I don't think it makes sense to even risk it. The manager will give Garnacho a chance, and then if Leeds defend deep, he'll probably take him off because Garnacho will be useless if Leeds United defend deep. But if Leeds risk playing a high line and there are spaces for Garnacho to exploit, that's something he has in common with Timo Werner. I'm just
But
saying that. Then he will stay on the pitch. I'm not saying I'm certain that's going to happen. It's my opinion. It is of your
yeah, I know
opinion
it's your opinion,
that
but what
yeah,
I'm saying is also
that you
you
don't
also
think
have
he's
to
right.
consider the type of team that we are playing. Leeds is not a walkthrough. Leeds is like a Leeds is a tough game.
No, I'm.
You understand?
You bet it is.
Yeah, at least it's a tough game. Like it's not a walkthrough. It's not like Wolverhampton when you see like they are on like they are on form and they are playing like a really good football and they are tough. They are physically like they play like a physical game. So you wouldn't even risk to start player like Ganacho. And I think Liam Rosina is also one of the coaches that he does his homework and also like study
But
the the the, the,
irrespective of
the
how much
opponent team.
work he does, he still has to work with what's available to him. That's the point
Yeah,
that
that is what I'm saying. And
and
if you're working with
rotation
what is
is key
available which for
now.
you, and then you have a choice between Neto and then Ganacho, of course you're going to go with Neto. See, like um, Bobby was willing for us to put Hatu in that position, and you're telling me that we can't use Neto like we're going to bench Neto and then use Ganacho. No,
I don't
Ganacho
think
will start from the
I don't think
bench,
the
yes,
finish
but
from
I
the
don't think Ganacho
I
will
think
start
the finish from the
unless he showed something. Unless he showed something like something different before maybe you got to win his back his position to start for
do
Chelsea.
you
But
really get
saying that
my own argument? Do you really get my argument?
yeah, I get your argument, but I'm also saying from my perspective what I think is going to happen.
Okay,
But I
then
get your
we'll
argument
find
though.
out on the day. On that day,
I
we'll find
I
out.
don't see what's funny about playing Hato further up the pitch. That's
And the
ridiculous
sign
to
is
think
that he
about.
might do it since
He's
he played him
he's
in the
done that already.
middle. Yeah.
Played him further up the pitch as a sort of left winger.
The
It's not
Cucurella rule. We
impossible.
might actually see both
Yeah,
on the left side and not Ganacho.
both on that side. It's not impossible.
It's not.
I don't think he'll start Garnacho either. That would be
Okay.
suicide.
We'll
You know,
see.
Leeds are a physical side, a very physical side, and
Especially in a
high
Leeds game.
energy as well.
Mm.
It's a great
Yeah, and
yeah,
the
the Leeds game is
sentiments between Chelsea and Leeds, it's always blood and thunder. It's always
yeah.
extra aggressive. And he would be a fool to start Garnacho in that game.
I mean, I don't think it's okay to say he will be a fool because circumstances might force him to do that. We don't know.
Yeah, circumstances, yeah, but on a logical side, I don't think he
But I
should.
fear Bobby in terms of predicting lineup. He always gets it right. Let me catch up. Let's give those in the chat the microphone. I think they've been saying a lot, and we haven't given them the microphone. Then we'll come back to the panel. Finish with the post game comments from pundits, players, and the manager alike. Then we get to looking at the numbers for the players. Let's see what else do we have here. Okay, three goals for Doku. Okay, let's see. Neto has 7 goals in total. Neto is just something I think he has to do either a confidence issue or something isn't quite right with him. He's not a bad player, and I think we all of us we know that he was one of our best players last season. 3 goals for Doku, and he says but Doku impacts games much more effectively than Neto. He's dangerous regardless. It's more is you could say selfless in terms of creating for his teammates. But in terms of you could say contributing defensively, I'd give it to Neto. Neto can sacrifice operating as an attacking, applying himself as an attacking player on the day just to make sure we don't concede as a team. And if you ask me, to give you an example, I say go rewatch our final Club World Cup final uh, against PSG. Crossing is for fullbacks, not wingers. Wingers are supposed to create. The same thing, creating crosses are also part of creating.
I'm
I'm
even
not sure
surprised,
how you see
frankly.
that differently. Doku is dangerous, but he isn't that good, bro. I think he just doesn't contribute much defensively, but offensively, I think he's an excellent player. Like me saying that Somerville is better than Neto because, yeah, he's an effective winger. Next, Chimera here says, I know why tracking back. I don't know why tracking back in doing simple schoolboy crosses is so impressive. You mean to you? Tracking back is important because teams that win a lot, they defend as a unit. And if your offensive players cannot track back, you definitely cannot defend as a unit. Neto has two sliders,
Coach,
Bobby.
let me make a point. Let me
Just
make
one
a point.
second.
Versus West Ham.
But
Versus West Ham.
go ahead.
Why was people cursing out Ganacho versus West Ham?
Why was what?
Because at the
He
first
was
goal
awful
that
on the day. I know that. I
yeah, yeah,
watched.
yeah, I know that, but on the first goal, he failed to track back.
He
When you watch
tracked
the first
back
goal,
and then halfway stopped following the
yeah,
man.
stopped. Do
Yeah,
you think
exactly.
Neto would have stopped?
Yeah,
Yeah, do you think
Neto
Neto would
will
have
follow
stopped?
you. So something isn't quite
So
right there.
what?
I'm not sure what's going on.
So what are they saying that track back is not is a schoolboy?
No, no, no. I think you're misreading his comment. Really.
Okay, then
Morella is a
my
left
bad.
winger and Neto is a right winger, but both can actually play on either side. Not the left before Neto was playing for Wolves, he was playing as a striker. I mean, he's a versatile player. When underperforming players like Gittins gets injured and are out for weeks, that opens the gate for others to get more game time. It's actually a good thing. And then there's also JC. Is it Jesse Derry, the academy kid? We're hearing he might get a chance, but probably in the cup game. I want to see him, and if he does well, I'm quite sure Liam Rosenior is not afraid to give young players game time. I understand Hakim Nacho would be a negative versus Leeds United. I don't think. Listen, at this moment, because we lack numbers and playing all our best players on the day and not trying, you can say, to give what's available to us, players that are available to us, time to see if they can pull it off. Then, yeah, if we see it's not working out, make a change as necessary. But listen,
Coach, can you tell me why is Chelsea so obsessed with left-footed wingers? Most of the wingers that we have, like productive wingers that we have, are left-footed, and we even have like a Quen that kept coming in. He's left-footed, and even we even sent one to loan, Kendrick Pius, left-footed. So I don't understand like what is going on. And I could tell you also, our best wingers in the academy are left wingers, the Jamaican guy boy, and even Omar Kellyman. Like he's also like a really good football player. All of them are left wingers, like left-footed players. So, so I'm like, what is wrong with these people with left-footed players? Coach,
these
I
days,
can't hear you.
okay, thank you for that. Here's the thing: these days, a lot of people that are right-footed like to operate on the right hand side, left, yeah, and then people that are right-footed like to operate on the left hand side. Um,
Yeah,
uh, yeah. So, but I get it. I understand the question. I'm not sure why that's the case, whether we're paying attention or not. You have to risk to get the biscuit, Coachella. I think we lost the leads earlier this season. They are much better than Wolves. Garnacho cannot start. That's just what you want to happen. But I'm telling you, because yeah, the need for rotation might mean the manager, he might decide to give him a chance. Chances are you guys are correct. And as I've said, when it comes to the predicting the lineup correctly, I don't want to slug it out with Bobby. He always wins. Hato is actually underrated. I don't think he's underrated. I think he's still, you can say, gradually being getting settled. He's an excellent player, and I'm quite sure Rosinia knows him very well. The fact that he you can say introduced him in the midfield area shows you that yeah, he trusts him. He will get to play, and he will be playing a lot in the left back position. Actually, if I need a more technically gifted left back, I'd stand him over Kukurea. Kukurea is just more experienced, you could say, but he's quicker than Kukurea. A much better dribbler. He is able to find solution in tight spaces than Kukurea is. Kukurea will
and it's also
always
it's
opt
also depend the
up to solve,
formation.
you can say, to find a solution in tight spaces with a pass, which doesn't work all the time. And that's me actually. You know how much I love Kukurea. Ganacho thought getting the face tattoo would make him less shit. Let's see what happens. Estevo is triple footed, if anything means, and the third foot, yeah. I'm not saying anything. Hakim, were you saying something?
I was saying, it also depends when you want to play Hatto. It also depends on the formations on the day, because when you're playing like a three back, or it's always better with Cucurella, and Cucurella is much familiar with the inventing role.
Mhm.
So
All right. Let's see. Liam Rosenior here says, I don't want to make excuses because I want us to be perfect all the time. I wanted the same performance in the second half as in the first half. But when you concede a goal, it changes the momentum and the flow of the game. I think that's understandable to anybody that understands football, really. Liam Rosenior also I say when asked about playing Enzo Fernandez on the left wing, people aren't paying attention. On the left, Enzo is playing in exactly the same position that he's been playing in probably 80% to 90% of the season, which is the left pocket. Yeah, that's where he plays. But a lot of people don't understand that. Let's see anything else. Rosino, I want us to have a perfect 90 minutes. That's my job, and I don't want us to switch off from set plays. I don't want us to give cheap chances away, and that's something for us to improve upon. Listen, I don't think would be able to read everything they have there, but my word, I think is an excellent manager. That's nice to hear. They should prepare 30 million pounds bid for him. Hasn't played since April. Strode out there today like he was nothing. Absolute brick wall. Axel de Ceci. Looks like he did very, very well for them. I didn't watch that particular game, but yeah, rumors are, talks are that he played very well. So nothing interesting here to look at. A lot of Cole Palmer, life on the lamb. Rosinia is amazing. He gives us all confidence. He lets us be ourselves, play free. I am sure when I am back, a proper fit, you will see the best of me. So, Bobby, I want to hear you. What do you make of this comment from Cole Palmer? I think we've talked about it, but we didn't have the comment in question before us, but now we have. Would you like me to read that again for you, Bobby, before I go to Hakeem?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay.
What's he saying?
The comment reads, Colt Palmer speaking live on the Liam Rosenior is amazing. He gives us all confidence. He lets us be ourselves, play free. I am sure when I am back, but to me, just the question I'm posing to you doesn't need the latter part, but it doesn't matter anyway. I am sure when I am back, when I'm back properly fit, you will see the best of me. Your take on that comment, I think it tells a lot. It does say a lot with regards to, you can say, how he feels now than how he was felt under Enzo Maresca, for lack of a more specific way to phrase that. But let's hear you, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. It's highly unlikely that a player would just come out and start berating a new a new manager. It doesn't make sense. But it is quite clear that there's a lot of truth in that. Um, Rosinia's way of playing is certainly more detailed in its expression um, than Maresca. Maresca is, for want of a better word, your typical Italian disciplinarian coach. Very disciplined, play a certain way. You can't play any other way,
Mm,
and you live by that way, and you die by that way. Whereas Rosinia is more about play in a way that's needed to win the game, utilize the players to the best of their ability, and work with what you've got. So a lot of people will benefit from that. Jao Pedro is showing the benefit of that. Enzo Fernandez, Palmer for the little cameos he's given on his way back to fitness. You can see it all over the pitch. Hato is being given the opportunity to slowly start to develop and find his way. The only one I'm yet to see, and yeah, he came on a little bit, but I think it's time we see him a bit more. And I think with what's happening with Santos, who I don't expect to see out against Leeds, we can put him in midfield. He's played there before, and he's very good at carrying the ball, especially carrying the ball forward. Is Achimpong. Achimpong hasn't at the moment really benefited from Rosinia, which is a shame because I think Achimpong will be very useful to Rosinia.
I think
So
eventually we'll
yeah,
start seeing him a lot.
I hope so because he's I don't and that's not out of any sentiment.
No,
Is
I
because
understand.
I
Yeah,
know he's a very good player,
I
and
mean, we've seen him firsthand.
well, this is it. I mean, it's because of him mainly that I was questioning the Jeremy Jacquet situation.
Hmm.
I'm like, well, I'm not sure. I don't know anything about Jeremy Jacquet, but um, I don't think at his age and at the age of Achingpong, I'm not sure he would be a better player. To be honest, I really don't think he would at this point be a better
He
player.
actually got
So
injured today.
who Jacquet?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, I want us to try and give more opportunities to Achimpong. I know it's difficult. I know we're coming to the key end of the season with matches thick and fast and ever increasing with importance. We have a somewhat good centre back pairing in Chalabar and Fofana, but with the turnaround of how many days, I think it's time we put um, oh gosh, Achimpong to start, and I can see him starting against Leeds, and not out of place either. He will do well in that game. He's got the physicality. Um, he's good in the air. Yes, he's slight and slender because he's young, but he's not weak. And if you put him alongside somebody who is equally as physical, I don't know what Tosin is doing these days, whether he's fit. Badia Shield, well, Badia Shield's up and down, but when Badia Shield came back from injury a little earlier, That's the injury before the injury, as it were. He did very well in centre back pairing with Josh. So maybe I don't know. Unfortunately, we'll have to flog Chalobah again, but playing him with Chalobah against Leeds wouldn't be a bad idea. So yeah, I get the statement. I think he's given us an insight into at least for now, the new ideas that Rosinia is bringing. Rosinia is beginning to tell us that he could end up being an extremely successful manager at Chelsea if he continues like this.
Yeah. Thanks so much for that, Bobby. I appreciate that. And the signs are good. We just need to give whatever Kukurea drinks to Hato he needs to be more aggressive, more determined. It could happen, but let's see. So Palmer is admitting, Palmer is acknowledging that he's been poor, but still made it seem like it was something external. Why was clarity lacking before he's scored a hat trick? I think the fans are the ones overreading or reading too much into his situation. Yeah, he doesn't owe us any explanation. Um, I don't know what else to say to that, really. We were the ones who are reading too much into the situation, and yeah, we got the sort of answer we want. You could say concluded that yeah, he wasn't happy at the clubs, and the media took that and ran with it, and we started hearing rumors that yeah, he's unsettled and would homesick, yada yada yada, would want to go back home uh, to Manchester. But that's by the way. Here, Cole Palmer on blocking outside noise. Everyone loves to chat rubbish, according to him, don't they? He asks. I don't pay too much attention to it. You see things, but I feel like I've come from a strong place anyway, so I don't pay attention to those things people are saying. Uh, I think this is also a message, in my opinion, to Manchester United. And here, Palmer says that he's still dealing with an injury, but hopefully he can get over the injury soon by managing it because I know what level I can provide when I feel 100% fit. Obviously, not being at full fitness is not ideal, but I still feel like I can help the team. When I get back to full fitness, I feel like I can go another level. So the most important thing for him is being available to help the team. And that makes me happy. This is so from Parma. I feel good to get 3 points and score some goals. It was a good one in difficult conditions today. As long as I can keep scoring hat tricks, I'm happy. I think we did well in the first half. The second half was a bit flat, but personally, it feels good to get back on the score sheet. It was an excellent performance. And Palmer also says, I love playing with João Pedro. We're good friends off the pitch, so it helps. Long may it continue. That's a good sign. I never knew that, yeah, they'd become friends. And that's usually good for the team. Nothing else important here to look at. Cole Palmer also, he says he's never been injured before. This is his first experience. I think he will get over it. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. Anything else the panel wants us to talk about before we call it a day? Hakim, do you have anything you want us to talk about?
Not really. The only thing that I want to say is that let's just keep on this trajectory and then keep the positive going. And then I hope that our next games will come like will win the rest of the games. And let's see how the season is going to end. And also targeting the FA Cups, the Champions Leagues. So this is
Yeah,
like how I want things to end up. So.
yeah. All right, Bobby. Anything else you want us to talk about?
No, we got three very important points today. Yesterday it was about 3 a.m. now. At
All right,
1
thanks so
a.m.
much.
over here. 1 a.m.
By the grace
But
of God, God will help me make it up to you, my Bobby, my brother. I appreciate you so much, and I know you know that. But
yeah,
that
no,
doesn't
it's
mean we stop
fine.
fighting, Bobby.
No, well, we're here to fight. That's what we do. So yeah, I mean, look, we got 3 points. It was very important points. Unfortunately, we didn't keep the clean sheet, but we continue. This guy has won, all 4 Premier League games he's been involved with, which is a good start. So we'll see what happens on Tuesday. Tuesday is equally another very difficult, but also very important game.
Shibera, if you can hear me, I just want to say to you, go away and leave me alone. And that's a serious accusation. That's not me. And here, Drew says, Coach and Mana out as always. You two out, bro. But much love to you. I appreciate you. Look at this, my bro here. No more toxic positivity. Time to leave in reality. Big up all except Coachila. Night, night. Good night to you too, bro. I appreciate you. And with this opportunity, I want to say thank you to Bobby for finding the time to keep me company on the panel here. Sim with my bro Hakim. I appreciate you both. And in the chat, I have this brother that I don't like in Chimera. Juve, much love to you both. What else do we have here? Miss Melina also was here. Love to Miss Melina. And also Ishi, 1738. Much love to you. Any other person here? Marlon Hughes, thank you for the love. And if Miss Melina, my sister, thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. And Christine Antonio, if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all and cheers.
Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge, we rise never wrong. With every goal, we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea forever will stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing.